Peace, peace. This is Vicki Dillard. I am live in the direct, getting ready to go. Y'all know whenever I come to you like this, I am headed to do my medical stuff. But I wanted to tap in very, very quickly with the family really quick. Can you all see and hear me okay? I don't see anybody yet in the chat, but beloved, everybody, when you come in, please come in hitting that thumbs up button, share, share, share. Whenever you come in, I want to go ahead and get started at the top of today's on the go brief broadcast. I want to remind you that tomorrow, Friday, September 6th, whenever you're seeing this, September 6th, beloved, I am conducting my Vatican II webinar, beloved. You don't want to miss it. My team should add the link here, pin it in the chat, as well as a comment below whenever you see this. We don't want you to miss this. I'm going to be talking about beloved, the powers that shouldn't be, the New World Order, the Vatican, and how that's directly connected to those of us here in these United States of America, believe it or not. Yes, those of us who are considered to be foundational Black Americans, some of us have a connection directly to the Vatican and world leadership on a political and spiritual level, and we're going to be talking about that more. And we're going to specifically be talking about the trilateral war room. Some of you may or may not know that there's a such thing as a trilateral commission. Among many other organizations and groups, there are those of you that while you're living your life, there are those that are sitting there planning the direction and the agenda for the whole wide world. But I wonder, do many of you all know that we are actually the ones that were originally the world rulers? So that's what we're going to be discussing on tomorrow. So beloved, do not miss tomorrow's free webinar. I said tomorrow's free webinar. Go to my website at vickiplanet.com. Hopefully my team will be able to come in here and pin the link for you. Or it'll be pinned in the comment section after this very brief broadcast. Hey, I see some of y'all popping on in now. Hey family, how y'all doing real quick? Thank you all for joining me. You all can tell I'm getting ready to go. Whenever I'm dressed like this, you know I'm getting ready to handle my business, run my errands, and take care of my holistic medical stuff. So just before I ran out, I wanted to briefly talk about this because I'm sure you all have already heard about this. I have already been discussing this online and other platforms like Twitter and so forth, and supporting other platforms concerning the sabotage, deliberate sabotage, and listen to the language we're using, of the Democrat Party and the legislative Black California caucus there in California. Y'all hearing me today? Virgil, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. Are y'all hearing me today? Now, I need you all to understand something. Let me give you, first of all, some of the background on this. I'm sure many of you already know about this. You already know that I have been an advocate of reparations for our people, both in whatever way we can get it, whether it's local, state, or federal. We're about that life over here at vickiplanet.com and vickidillard.tv. Talk black to me. Somebody says Zoom meeting today. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Zoom meeting today. Oh, there she is. Thank you, Precious. My manager is in here. She's putting in the link, family. My Vatican II webinar is free, y'all. My Vatican II free webinar, absolutely no obligation, where we're going to be talking about the New World Order. You all know there's a lot of conversation, a lot of people that these platforms don't allow me to call out. The true sacred knowledge is about the fact that we were originally the world rulers. Talk black to me. And our authority, our rights, and rituals were usurped. And we need to get back to that. And this is actually in alignment with what I want to talk about really quick before my driver comes, about this reparation that was intentionally sabotaged by the Democrat Party and the Black Congressional Caucus there in California. Are y'all hearing me today? By the way, if you want to attend, click that link that they got in the chat. I'm sure she's going to be pinning it. I can't see it on my device because I'm on the go, so I'm on my phone. That's why I'm rushing, because I got to get ready to go to my holistic appointment in just a minute, fam. But I wanted to tap in with you really quick. Yes, it's tomorrow, Precious. So whenever you're watching this, you should see it pinned in the comments, or you should see it pinned in the chat. Now, how many of you all have been hearing about this? I'm reading to you now from KCRA News in Sacramento 3, where it says, the headline says, "A complete betrayal. California Reparations Task Force leader responds to legislative Black Caucus decision to block bills." Are y'all listening? Who did I say? The California Reparations Task Force leader. She's responding to who? Can y'all see that? The legislative Black Caucus The California Legislative Black Caucus, the California Legislative Black Caucus. So I want y'all to keep that in mind, okay? Now, I follow the young lady who I believe is an attorney, Miss Camilla, who has been pushing this and studying this, Miss Camilla Moore, for more than a couple of years. Let me skip down to where this says that. 3 days after California's Legislative Black Caucus blocked the California Assembly from voting on 2 reparations proposals, the leader of the state's reparations task force is speaking out against the group's actions. I think, and this is a quote, what happened on Saturday was unconscionable, says Camilla Moore, the chair of California's reparations task force, which spent 2 years studying the impacts of slavery and racial discrimination on African Americans in California. It talks about the fact that KCRA also reached out to California Secretary of State Shirley Weber, who wrote the state law that created the task force. She declined to do an interview on the situation Tuesday. Y'all hear that? So the very people who are responsible for this, the very people who put their name on this legislation is running from it. Everybody be sure to hit that thumbs up button, share, share, share. Virgil, both of your gifts are blessed 1,000-fold, beloved. The Black Caucus announced on the final night of the legislative session on Saturday that it would not bring the 2 reparations proposals up for final votes in the Assembly, including SB 1403 to establish a reparations state agency and SB 1331 to establish a reparations fund. Do y'all hear this betrayal? Do y'all hear this betrayal? Do you all see this cowardice? Don't you ever come to the Vicki Dillard page telling me, Vicki, why you attack your own people. Don't you dare ever on no occasion say that to me. You will not hear me unnecessarily just going off on somebody for no reason. If I'm going off on you, that means you're an enemy to my people. And when you show yourself to be an enemy of my people, you get treated like one. Talk black to me, somebody. I said, when you show yourself to be an enemy of my people, you get treated like one. Everybody hit that thumbs up button for me and share, share, share. I said, everybody be sure to hit that thumbs up button, share, share, share. Y'all know my ride is coming so I can go to my appointment, but I wanted to share a little bit more with you from this. Republican Assemblyman Bill Esali attempted to force a vote on one of the measures. This sent Democrats scrambling to figure out how to prevent a floor vote. The Assembly then placed the bill on its inactive file, effectively killing the proposals without Bradford's permission. Now, let me tell you something. People are tripping about the fact that it was a Republican that brought the bill to the floor. Now, remember, the Democrats and all that, this bill was pretty much ready to go. But they didn't want to be embarrassed to get it over the line by it going to the floor. Now, I personally believe that this Republican may not have meant any good by doing it. Vicki, you look beautiful. Thank you, precious. That Republican was probably just showing up the Democrats. He was just humiliating them, embarrassing them, letting the world know they just playing games with y'all. And that's the reason why the Republican was the one, in my opinion, that very likely was the reason why he was the one that brought it, to expose the Democrats for playing y'all in California. Now, why would he do that? They're doing that because they know that when you're dealing with reparations and you are moving with reparations in an effective way to bring justice and tangibles to black folks, he knows that that's going to disproportionately help the Democrat Party. But he exposed the fact that they was just playing everybody leading up to the elections. Are y'all hearing me? While the Democrats are playing right in y'all's faces, it took a whole Republican to bring it up to bring it to the floor, because he was just exposing them, knowing full well that all they were going to do was slow walking it. Everything was pretty much ready to go, right? And yes, I'm going to get to that in just a moment, where I was looking at footage and listening to some of the black activists on the ground, where they were specifically saying that the people whose names are on the bills are the ones who's killing it. And he was saying that they are afraid of lily white, progressive Gavin Newsom. This is the reason why we tell you all, when you all start saying dumb stuff about why don't you give Trump the same level of attention. First of all, I do go off on Trump. Secondly, black folks overwhelmingly are not voting for the Republicans. We're giving the people that we're giving power to this work more than anybody, because they're the ones that's supposed to do something about it. When you don't do nothing about it, when you sabotage the people that give you power to change their condition and you don't, you're the one that's going to be held responsible. Duh. So stop asking dumb questions. I'm Native American. What do I get? You get to get your ASS off my platform, is what you get to do. The original natives, baby, are black-skinned people. When you look at, y'all are already getting stuff that some of y'all have no business getting. The great Dr. Clark Anderson already told us that there's a such thing as $5 onions, where white folks was taking, where white folks was paying $5 to get benefits that was really supposed to be from for some of us. There are provisions that's in some of those treaties that belong to black folks. You better get your funny looking self off my platform before you get your little feelings hurt, baby. It was some of you less melanated so-called Indians were the ones that were continuously enslaving us, and some of you all were in agreements with the U.S. government, and the government even gave y'all money and resources to pay us and to free us. And some of the actual Indians, so-called Indians, were the ones that wouldn't let us go. You all were slave catchers, knucklehead. You better get your funny looking self off of here, baby. That's what you get. You get to get the hell up off my page. Is what you get to do. Y'all owe us too. White Jewish people owe us. Some of you Indian folks owe us. White Americans owe us. Illegal immigrants owe us. Legal immigrants owe us. Everybody owe us. Talk black to me, somebody. Now listen, it goes on. What we saw, she says, was a complete betrayal by the California Legislative Black Caucus against their own constituents, Moore told KCRA3 in an interview on Tuesday. She says, quote, they chose to prioritize their own ego and their own self-interest over the people they claim to serve. She noted that the bill to establish the state agency would be known as the California American Freedmen's Affairs Agency. She said was meant to be the foundation of the state's reparations efforts moving forward. She noted in other reparations efforts across the country and internationally, infrastructure was first put in place to set up to provide the restitution, material benefits, policies, and programs. Lawmakers did send Governor Gavin Newsom, y'all listen, SB 1050, a reparations task force recommendation that would provide a process for those who had their land unfairly taken through eminent domain. Quote, that land restitution is supposed to go through that agency. It's supposed to go through that agency that the CLBC members just killed, she said. Moore was at the Capitol with several other advocates for reparations who protested the decisions by the caucus. I was really trying to plead, trying to use logic and reason to get through to these Black Caucus members to do the right thing, Moore said. They were just completely disrespectful to their constituents. Now, this is from our beautiful sister, Miss Moore, who is quoted there. It goes on to say, Moore mentioned a video that went viral showing Assemblyman Reggie Jones saw her taunting the demonstrators who waited outside of the assembly chamber. I saw that. I don't know if you all saw that. Now, what they're talking about one of the black legislators down there that was taunting black folks after they killed the bill. Now, black family, it's up to you all what you gonna do. But let me tell you something about me. Let me tell you something about my spirituality. What you need to understand is one of the reasons why I do my spiritual courses and I have my spiritual monthly mastermind that's called the Vicki Dillard Mystery School. One of the reasons why I have a special spiritual Isis temple, which I hadn't even made that, I have not even made the announcement to the public before. The only people that get to be a part of my 90-day coaching program, which is already started for the first one, are those that are already a part of the community at the Vicki Dillard Mystery School on my website at VickiPlanet.com. The reason why I do those types of things, the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing, like tomorrow, a free webinar that you can attend, you, your family, and your loved ones. Click the link that's pinned so that you can save your seat for tomorrow and don't miss it, prioritize it. The reason I do that is because I'm trying to explain to you offline. Number one, when I'm calling out them folks, there are certain names and certain specific things that I say offline that these platforms don't like me to say. So the true so-called forbidden knowledge is the stuff that Vicki talks about on a regular basis offline. That's number one. Number two, I emphasize spirituality because you're going to have to use a force outside of the established systems in order to cause our will to be done in this earth plane. Somebody talk black to me. And it don't include turning no other cheek. Did you hear what I said? This is the problem, is that your religion is what's got you messed up, and it's what's got our families in bondage for going into 5 centuries. It's our enemy that told us something about turning other cheek, stole sacred texts, and gave us misinterpretation of those sacred texts to keep you weak and then turn around and had you demonize your own ancient spiritual black systems. You must be out your mind. I'm not cut from that cloth. My temple is a battleground where I do warfare, and I teach the people to do the same. Talk black to me, somebody. There are energies and powers and forces that we have to tap into that's beyond freaking voting. And your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is not getting the job done for the masses of our people after 500 years and taking 2,000 years to come back. That's the reason why I tell you to click the link so that you can hear more about the Vatican and what that actually has to do with you in America. What that has to do with power and voting and spirituality and you being in bondage. My spiritual students actually have done rituals related to reparations. Let me just put that on out there, baby. See, some of you all got it twisted. Some of you don't know how this really works. While you sitting up here mocking somebody else's religion and spiritual system, and you wondering how these people are in power, these politicians and the wealthy and those that rule over the masses, how is it that they're in positions of power? Baby, they're operating in different forms of magic and spirituality and magical practices, and they not telling you with your slow self. And while you shucking and jiving, talking about your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ and turn the other cheek, they smiling at you. Because it don't affect the natural realm. Somebody just said LOL magic. Yes, I said magic, slowness. Don't get yourself in spiritual trouble because you don't understand something. Just go and be confused. It's okay to just stay confused without comment. When you don't know what it is, just shut up. Or you can click the link and join and just be quiet when you watch the webinar until you learn and grow in something. Like me, I don't do a lot of sports and stuff. So when I'm watching, if I have to be forced to watch some sports, I don't run my mouth like I know about the game. I just be looking. I don't comment on what's right and wrong and what the rules and regulations are. See, when you're in a zone, in a sphere, in an industry, in a discipline that you're not familiar with, just hush. Just sit back and just watch. No comments needed. Grown-ups know how to do that. With your little confused self. You show your itty-bittiness, your stupidity, your sheepness. Somebody put a sheep in the chat. Somebody put a turtle in the chat. You wonder why they ruling over you with your slow self. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to agree with it. You just do have to hush, though. Just hush. When you don't know, just close your mouth. No reason to reveal your stupidity. Don't subject us to the dangers of your sick mind and thinking. That's a different pandemic of its own that we don't want to be subjected to. We don't want to catch that. Y'all, my ride is getting ready to come here shortly. Everybody hit that thumbs up button. Share, share, share. Do not miss tomorrow's webinar. It's about the Vatican II. I'm going to be talking about the New World Order. Specifically, I'm going to briefly hit on the Trilateral Commission. I don't know how many of you all have heard about the Trilateral Commission. Zbigniew Brzezinski is connected to that. Kissinger was connected to that. Some of your world leaders were connected to that. I'm going to talk about that briefly. They're not the only ones. They're just one. But I want to specifically talk about them, and I want to connect it to this notion spiritually of a trilateral war room. Baby, that's what we're good at. Some of you think that these so-called secret societies and these hidden occult forces and energy are more powerful than our ancient powers. No, you're just ignorant of what belongs to us. And I want to get you hip on that. But we first have to know about it and go back to the source of our powers. Talk black to me, somebody. So everybody hit that thumbs up button and stop putting Trump, please. No, not Trump, please. Don't get blocked from my chat. Yes, I give the Democrats the everlasting word. Yes, I don't encourage folks to vote for the Democrats without giving us tangibles. But I'm sure not just sitting out here telling you to just go vote Trump either. Trump is a devil. Trump has warrants out for his arrest around the world because he is a murderous, a war hawk too. He's just a trick for slow-minded people The thing about me is I don't tell y'all that Trump is worse than Biden or Kamala. I tell you they both bad. Talk black to me, somebody. You heard what I said. Talk black to me, somebody. Everybody hit that thumbs up button, share. Now, you all know, as I was speaking in Washington, D.C., earlier this summer in June with my brother Tariq Nasheed and some of the others about reparations, making our demand just down the street from the White House. You all know I've been discussing reparations for many years on many networks, right? You all know that I had a face-to-face some months ago directly with presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy, right? And I specifically to his face talked to him about reparations, and he was so tripped out that he didn't even take any questions or comments from none of the other people that was handpicked to attend the meeting. That's just how much my ancestral team left him shook, to the point to where his whole team was freaking out and he refused to take any comments or questions from anybody else that was handpicked to come to the meeting after me. What I want you all to understand is that the reason why reparations is so important is not just about money, and that's a big part of it, but it is about spiritual restitution, and America is damned if she does not. One of the reasons why America continues to catch a whole lot of hell that she otherwise wouldn't is because of her refusal to do right by us. It has to do with a spiritual reason, a metaphysical reason. Your ancestors were murdered. They shed blood. They were crucified on American crosses. They were ritualized. Their energies and spirits and bodies were diabolically mistreated and ritualized and sacrificed. So there is a spiritual court and a spiritual judgment that America is under. Do you understand that? So whenever they talk about slow walking it, they're not only slow walking our progress to get new businesses, new homes, and to provide for our families, but they're slow walking their own destiny and expediting the end of them as a group. Did you hear what I said right there? It's a metaphysical and a spiritual infraction. It's a spiritual judgment that's at work too. That's the reason why I push this so hard as well, for the material, physical, natural reasons, but also spiritual, also national reasons, political reasons, geopolitical reasons. America has literally been damned, not as a cuss word, but as a reality, as a judgment from the divine unseen courts. Are y'all hearing me? This is why this is so important. Now, you all are in California. Some of you all need to be meeting online, and some of you all need to be talking about your strategies on how y'all going to hold them accountable offline. But we need to tie this noose around the neck politically, I'm speaking. Let me be clear on that so nobody misinterprets my words. We need to use this albatross, use this as a political albatross around the Democrat Party and Kamala Harris, because this is her state. All of them folks try to make you believe, like Tamika Mallory's funny looking self lying on the Breakfast Club. Charlamagne the God the other day lying on the Breakfast Club talking about Kamala is for reparations. Tamika Mallory gonna sit her funny looking self on the Breakfast Club the other day talking about she don't know why we saying that Kamala is not for reparations. Silly, because she said it out of her mouth and we saw the footage, we play the footage. That's why we say it is slowness. They want y'all to be confused, and they want you all to focus on one time over in the corner somewhere where Kamala might have said, well, I'm for a study. We ain't talking about no damn study. We're talking about when she did that interview with the Griot reporter, and the reporter specifically asked her about reparations and doing something specifically for black folks. She said no, slick like the first time. She said it twice and quickly. And later in the interview of that part specifically about reparations and doing something specific for black people is when she emphasized it and said, no, I'm not going to sit up here and say I'm going to do something specifically for black people. So she said no specifically to reparations, and she said it real fast and real slick. Then she turned around and emphasized that she will not do anything specifically for black people later on in that part of the interview. And you got the Tamika Mallory's and the Charlemagne the God out there lying for Kamala, covering for her, and treating us like we're out of our minds. Kamala's website, now I need to go check it today. I haven't checked it today. Somebody pull up her website real quick if y'all got another device and tell me if she's finally updated her website to give us her specifically policy plan. When they for insurance for everybody, when they for college payments for free college for everybody, they make that specific. They're unequivocal, and they put that out there. When they're for immigrations and making illegal immigrations, like making the illegals. Give them legal status in the United States. They're specific about it. Kamala didn't even have a specific policy up on her platform yet. If they were about reparations, it would be full-throated, clear, explicit, and written out. Okay, thank you, Dorothy. Dorothy just said it's not updated. Thank you. I just want to make sure, because I'm live right now. Y'all know normally I'm on my laptop, but I got to get ready to go. My rider's getting ready to pick me up because I got to get ready to go to my health appointment. That's why I'm dressed like this, but I wanted to come to y'all real quick. So this is what you all have to understand. You have to access other forms of power, like spiritual power, in the right way, so that you can force a change in the political realm. One of the reasons why I keep talking about the Vatican is because you all know now that the Vatican wields a certain level of power years ago, centuries ago, as well as in modern day, politically and spiritually, right? Y'all know that, right? Directly and indirectly. Don't get it twisted. Virgil, your gift is blessed again, beloved, 1,000-fold. He says she has not posted a policy yet, prophets. Thank you, beloved. See, y'all confirming for me I'm not crazy. She still hadn't posted. Don't y'all think that's strange that they want us to vote for somebody that hadn't even put in writing what they're going to do? Why is that important? Because she wants to keep changing the goalposts. They don't want to have to commit to nothing. How many of y'all remember what Nancy Pelosi said years ago when Nancy Pelosi was caught on a leaked audio? Raise your hand in the chat if y'all remember what Nancy Pelosi said a few years ago when a leaked call of a leaked message, was it an email? It was some kind of a leaked communication from Nancy Pelosi. What did Nancy Pelosi, where are my intelligent black people at in the chat? What did Nancy Pelosi say in that leaked communication from her when they were supposed to be meeting with the regular people? How many of y'all remember that? Miss Sharifa said it. She said, do not promise the FBA people anything. Your Democrat, long-serving former Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, told them not to promise us nothing. The reason we keep emphasizing the fact that they have not put it in writing, the reason we're emphasizing and making that a big deal is because they want to keep moving the goalposts and they want to do exactly their secret strategy that was leaked from Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi said, don't promise them nothing. And that's exactly what we've been getting. From your Democrats. Immigration is not more important than what we're talking about. Ukraine is not more important than what we're talking about. Anything going on else in the United States, other groups, nothing in the United States, no policy, no rules, no regulations, no checks they cutting, the deficit, nothing is more important than them making sure that we as foundational black Americans are first and foremost taken care of. Joe Biden knows that America is doomed, which is why he told y'all that before he took the oath of office. Didn't he say it? And the first thing Joe Biden said was America is doomed, not just because of black people, which that means the way he said it, it means that black folks, we're doomed. America is doomed in part because of black folks. Not Hispanic folks, not Asian folks, not LGBTQ, not the AAPI community, not Wall Street, not some of the other devils in the United States. Joe Biden specifically talked about us, we who are foundational Black Americans. And then he said America is doomed in second part because of what? Because white folks getting ready to be the minority come 2040. They know what it is. This is why I teach spiritual courses. This is why I'm teaching you about your power so that we can have a real impact in the government beyond voting. You need another type of power. If you're not a senator, if you're not a House of Representative, if you are not a president, if you are not a high-powered lobbyist, if you are not a multi-millionaire, multi-billionaire force in Wall Street, if you're not a part of some geopolitical powerful bloc, how else are you going to begin to wield power to change your reality and your condition? They have not taught you how to use your spiritual power to change your physical reality. But I'm going to teach you. And the more of us that know this, the greater the impact we can have and the faster the impact. Shout out to my moderators. They putting a whole lot of people in the block party today. Okay, fam, I got to get ready to go. My ride is here. I got to get ready to go to my holistic appointment. Do not miss tomorrow, Friday, September 6th. Friday, September 6th. That's tomorrow. I'm doing an absolutely powerful part 2 of the Vatican II, where I'm going to be talking about the Trilateral Commission versus the Trilateral War Room. That means your spiritual powers. I'm going to talk to you about how they stole, again, some of our ancient rights and how we can use that to change our condition here in these United States of America. Click the link that's pinned below. And when I click off of this, my team will pin it in the comments below, okay? Make sure you have your family, friends, and loved ones come. They can register. It's absolutely free, no obligation. You don't want to miss this. It is time that we get to work. Watch this whole brief broadcast. It's only 30 minutes. Show it to your family, friends, and loved ones in California. Get to work. Every other city and state, get to work. It's time for us to get on code so that we can force our will in this planet, politically speaking. Some stuff we can talk online about. Some stuff we can't. But I don't want anybody to get discouraged because we're just getting started. Now, for those of you who are Christians, I got 2 scriptures for you to help you with this. If you don't know what to do, it says to resist the devil and he'll flee. That's number 1. And number 2 is that the kingdom of God suffers violence, but the violent take it by force. I'm just quoting scripture. That's it. I'm just quoting scripture in a political context. I said I'm just quoting scripture in a political context. California, it's up to you all to hold them knuckleheads up there accountable. And y'all make sure you continue to connect this to Kamala Harris and the Democrat Party. It's calling them out and showing them to be the liars that they are, because they just come off of this high from the DNC in Chicago. I was there during the DNC in Chicago when I met some of you on the ground for a B1 Talk Black to Me town hall. It's up to you all. It's up to us to get on code so that we're operating and moving as one well-oiled machine. We're not taking our cues from Roland's funny-looking self. He just got caught up in a little naked male scandal, allegedly. Them Democrats promise you that they care about black folks, but the legislators, everything was ready to go. All they were supposed to do was to finally put it on the floor so they can knock out this final vote. And watch this. Your lily white so-called liberal Governor Newsom, the people out there that want your children to be trans without your permission, the people that's out there that wants the illegals to get houses, $150,000 for houses out there, your liberal Democrats that want people to have free education and free insurance, they giving you black folks the middle finger. The most faithful voting bloc on the planet, the people who created America, they said, screw you. We're dealing with Venezuelan gangs and all kind of stuff coming through. But they say, screw you. What y'all gonna do about these so-called liberals? I love y'all. Let me see you tomorrow, Friday, September 6th, Friday, September 6th for the Vatican II. Do not miss this webinar. Tomorrow, have you, your family, friends, and loved ones register and make sure you're there. Make sure that you click on, make sure that you're watching it, because I'm going to share some information that these platforms don't want me to share. And I'm going to take it further than I did the first one a few weeks back, okay? Click the link that's pinned here in the chat, or click the link that's in the comment section, okay? Love you so much. I'm your sister with the curly braids. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I can't wait to see you again. Don't lose hope, California. Y'all keep pushing. Not just California, but also around this country. America has no choice. I said America has no choice. And we will not relent.